So the first thing I'm going to do is obviously go around with a glass scraper. Generally do this. It wasn't too bad this time. I've done it probably a week ago. Just use a flipper nano. The blade side. Clownfish area, come and have a look. Probably for any pods or anything like that they've decided to make their home on the flipper for the last week or so. And the urchin and everybody else. The urchin's cleaning the frag plug of our new corals. Could go around the wrist. Close to the edge when I'm too close. I'll do that with hand afterwards with a chip brush. A few corals to glue down today. Ones I'm sure of, but I know where they're going to go. I'm going to use the super glue and do the coral putty method because that's the most secure I've found. Ones I'm not 100% certain on, I just use super glue. The reason for that is I find that super glue I can remove them easier from the rock if I just use super glue. Whereas if it's putty and super glue, yeah, that's a different ballgame. You kind of stick a lot better with that, which is good if they're in the place where you want them. Especially when you've got some snails that bulldoze things, but I've also got a tuxedo urchin. And as you probably all know, they like to carry things around. Not usually stuff that you're not bothered about and carrying around, so kind of good to stop that really. Mine's not too bad, to be fair. He doesn't really carry anything around, and well, has never really carried anything around other than a bit of gravel and some algae, which I don't mind him carrying around algae as long as he eats it. But for the first time the other day, he decided to carry one of my new SPS frags around, and then proceeded to drop it right on top of my trackie, and then it fell off the trackie into a little cave right over in the back corner there. It wasn't that long. Luckily did it one evening while I was here, so I just worked it out and put it somewhere out of his way. Well, not obviously out of his way, but put it back somewhere a bit safer. Right. Let that do for a minute. Probably do a better job of that than that, but that'll be okay for a moment. So we get on. We'll just go over that again later. I put a latex glove on. I know it fills up with water, but it's has two effects really. Obviously, if I come across any bristleworms, I know there's one where one of them I know lives. But also, for some bizarre reason, the clownfish don't seem to bite me as much when I've got a blue glove on. If I haven't got a glove on, they just bite me every few seconds, which is fine. It's not a problem at the moment because they're small, so it doesn't hurt. But I'd rather they didn't do it. Just turn the return pump off in there. If I can see. I'll turn one of my wave makers off as well because it'll go under the wave water line. So we've got one wave maker on, skimmer still on, lights fall off. Sorry, my cabinet light, nothing to worry about. Okay, the method I generally use for getting the algae out is I've got a flexible hose with a piece of perspex tube on the end of it. I'll pull the algae and let it go straight up the tube. So yeah, let's see how much we can get out today. And my spiky snails there. Not just disturb him too much. He's obviously doing some algae. It's attached to a frag. This one of the ones also got to glue down. You watch the videos doing this and they make it look so easy, but to be honest, in a small tank it's not that easy. That's why I get the worst of it out and then go around with the swift brush that people say I shouldn't do. But with most other methods, short of stripping the tank down, starting again, which I don't want to do just yet. I'm going to carry on with this method. If I'm wrong, I'll admit I'm wrong. I do have some Flux RX in reserve as a final last resort. Well, it's not the last resort because the last resort would be stripping it down, but I've heard some good and bad about Flux RX. I'm reluctant to kind of use it. I'd rather not use chemicals if I can help it, and all those kind of chemicals anyway. But if I have to, then I have to. Damage watch. Most of the corals are doing okay. This Sophastria down here took a few goes at finding it where it liked. Seems very happy there now. It's starting to encrust. You probably can't see it because of the algae, but it is. But on the downside, I did have a torch down on me the other day. You can see it with this here as a torch, and it's just kind of died. It was doing quite well as well, which is a bit of a shame. And then just suddenly receded, well, receded, but stopped extending its polyps, and now it's dead. I know the tank's going to look an absolute mess for a while. See chunks of it coming out here in the gravel. Look at that. I set up a refugium the other day as well. that's one of my dosing pumps gone. Some people will probably say on a little all-in-one like this, it's not very effective. But to be honest, like I said, there's my dog. Someone's obviously walked past. Got to watch how much I'm doing as well, because obviously I'm doing a water change as well, so I've gone in the past and taken out more water than I've actually got ready to go back in, so I've then had to sort of filter it with kind of, oops, sorry Mr. Spiky Snow, and then tip some back in that I've already siphoned out. Not ideal, I know, but it's quicker than making up another batch of salt water. I know some people probably say I'm mad as well, trying to keep SPS in a nano, but from what I understand, stability is key, and people have done it. There's some nice SPS tanks out there, nano SPS tanks. I'm not new to fish keeping generally. I've been keeping a planted aquarium for probably over 30 years on and off, so I know that doesn't equate to keeping a marine tank, but it's not like I'm totally new to the aquarium hobby, is what I'm trying to say. Bits down there and the gravel we can get out, mind him, Mr. Snow there. Like I already said, but at this rate, taking out all this gravel that comes out of this, I'm going to have to buy some more gravel soon. Gravel, sand, whatever you want to call it. It's kind of there, put on a mushroom with it. Be careful here really, because this is the entrance to the cave where my shrimp and goby live. And still don't pull it goes too much. Fang just bit me, found a part of my skin without a glove on. Again. That's my conch there. Algae. Right, I'll let that do for the siphoning for a minute. I know there's still loads of algae on there, but like I said, I found that trying to pull the algae off isn't the easiest, to be honest. So it's going to look a mess for a while now, because I'll get going with the toothbrush now. I know some people will I know I've already said it, but I know some people will have a go at me, well not have a go, but say that using a toothbrush is a bad method because it just spreads the algae. But I found it worked quite well last time. Like I said, earlier on the other side of the tank, so I'm prepared to give it a go. Obviously I've got to be careful with the livestock in here. It's a bit cold a minute. Fall into my algae pour. Comes off quite well with the toothbrush. And the dumpling has gone in, sulking, which I know a lot of them will. Be careful as well, because I don't want to move the rocks gate too much because of the stuff that's buried in the sand. But no, this a piece of rock. I'm not going to do that little white bit of rock, this piece down here, because it's not very secure. Well, it's secure as in it's not going to fall over, but it's a small piece of rock. So, remove the spiky snail. No, not a piece of rock as I thought. Okay, there's a piece of SPS as well. Knock it off. And pull some of that off, I think. Yeah, going back to the refugium, so obviously got some Cheeto or Chato, Kato, however you want to say it, in there. I bought the Tunzi, I can't remember what the exact model name is, but it's the refugium, like the one that little strip light, 9-watt little strip light that's designed for a refugium that can go in the water. I've got it fixed to the back of the tank at the moment. So it's just one of the little all-in-one chambers back there. So we'll see how it goes. It's only been going a week. I do have a small tank set up upstairs with some more, it's got nothing in it but a bit of well, it's actually got a load of Alicia crispata, the sea lettuce, that the one I had in here unfortunately got caught up in a power head, which is not very nice. But it seems to be that it laid a load of eggs before that. So I moved a piece of rock out of here that must have been covered in eggs. So I just noticed one day upstairs in the little tank, loads of baby sea lettuces. So luckily my local fish store are interested in them, so they said they'll have them, and they're big enough. Not sure whether I'll keep another one in there, because obviously now I've got SPS, I need all the flow I can, and I don't like the thought of the risk of one of those going in the power head again. It's not very nice. So probably I might keep a couple upstairs in case I change my mind. They're cool little things. Well, I think they are anyway. Get there for a minute. Right, I'm not going to go over the rocks I've already done this side of the tank I've done last time. It's kind of using it as an experiment as well, because like I said, everything's happy on the whole, corals and fish. I was getting hung up on my nutrients, but having looked online and done a lot of research, and speaking to a couple of local fish stores, it's not worth getting hung up on phosphate and stuff like that at the moment, because I'm obviously not getting true reading because it's all tied up in the algae. So shout out to Southwest Marines and in Bristol, well, Severn Beach, Pilning, if you know the area, and to my local Maidenhead Aquatics, Adam and Danny and the guys there. They're like, just concentrate on, if the corals look okay and the fish are doing okay, just concentrate on getting the algae down, and then you'll probably find out that as that goes, I'll start getting phosphate readings that I can then take as more realistic and manage it from there. I do have a reactor in there, like either a phosphate or carbon reactor, which I've seen some people put both in. I know it's not ideal, but again, with the nano, all-in-one nano, you're kind of limited on space, so it's like more of a needs-must thing. Big chunk there, I'll probably put up my hand. Yeah. I'm going to take this torch off here because he's unfortunately died. A shame, because it was a really nice coloured one. Well, all torches I've got are really nice, but that one was, yeah, I particularly liked that one. Sod's law, as they say. What do we get rid of that? Oh, spiky snails. Hopefully, if I get the algae short enough, all the critters in there will do their job. Now it's short, because again, a lot of what I've read and been told is that once the algae gets too big, too long, they won't touch it. Which makes sense. Good bit on here, trying to move it. A little pink streak, not pink, yeah, pink pelvic spot wrasse lives down there. Let's do my A-cam to that for one of my A-cams. See, there's one of my turbo snails already on there from last week where I'd cleaned, whereas normally they wouldn't go near it. So I think that's a good sign. This piece of rock here has gone really green, and the only thing I can think is because I tried some mastic on there, which the fish liked, but ever since then I think the algae has used the nutrients from the mastic. So now I'm putting the incense. As for feeding the corals, I did start to use some reef roids until I read everybody's like, oh, that's just like putting phosphate straight in your tank. So I stopped, and I just dose every now and again some phytoplankton. I think I might let that do with the toothbrush because it's, I knew it would, but it's looking like a bloody mess. Be careful down here as well, because that, I don't know if you can see it very well, down there, that's a goniopora that I took a gamble on. It wasn't doing very well, so the shop did me out for a really good price. It was about 20 quid, something like that. It's pink and teal. It came out for a while, and now it's kind of, I've tried it over the months in different places, and it's not dying, but it's not thriving. But I also found on it the other day 3, oh crikey, I forgot what they're called. 3, I can't remember what they're called. I'll overlay it. Fanworms, is it? Feather dusters, that's it. Feather dusters. Just give the card a quick brush over. I'm not taking them right out this time. Don't put too much crap in the tank. Long go. I've got guards on those because of those little sea lettuce, sea slug things. Right, I've mixed up some coral putty, some Aquascapes coral putty, and you can see that very well, that's what I use. And just some Sea Chem reef glue. This is strawberry shortcake. I already broke the bottom of the frag plug off. I probably like a lot of you, I hate frag plugs. Break off what I can where I can. Obviously can't always break all of it off. I will risk the coral. I've just done a little bit of the coral putty and some super glue. This is one of the claims now. Quite, yeah, I mean, just right there. Like that. Hopefully. He's been doing quite well there. Forget the names of some of these. I'll overlay them on the video. I'll just try and break the bottom of the frag plug off of this one second. So, what do they? Some of them go really easy. Some, as I'm sure you're all aware, are an absolute nightmare. Alright, not too bad. I'm sure I'm going to put this one over there maybe. Yeah, that'll do. I found a spot where I'm going to put this one. A piece of coral there, I'm just going to, algae, I'm just going to pull out there. So in again in a second, we'll try and cut this frag plug off. I think this is one of the nasty, horrible ones. So we do. Oh, done it. Okay, a bit of an update from the water change and coral gluing earlier. Unfortunately the camera started playing up and playing silly buggers, so it's all done. I've come back to it now. So as you can see, I've glued some of the corals in place. I'll have to overlay the names of them. Still getting to grips with my coral names. But there's two up there. The green one at the back I already had. Another one right in the back there behind that Algae. Two up there. The top one I know is a strawberry shortcake. There's one just peeking over the back there. Hopefully it'll grow up and show up a little bit better. I glued this A-can down because it was just resting on that bit of rock and the snails and things kept knocking it off. I also moved my mushroom to there. It was on the sand before, gravel. It seems to be happy doing there. So yeah, a few particles dotted about. It's cleared up quite nicely there. We'll see how my plan goes now with the algae. Like I said, I scrubbed over that side, and now the snails and urchin and all seem to go on the rock and keep it a bit cleaner now. So fingers crossed they'll do the same on this side. So yeah, I'll keep you updated.